All right, we are here today. The time is upon us. Welcome, ladies. Welcome, boundary butterflies. Right. Welcome all who wants to learn how to just step in their power and claim their inner power. And as I was sharing with our viewers, that we have a very special guest amongst us today, one half of the amazing duo. Her name is Trina Smith, as well as her co-captain Louise Hart Henley. Cannot be with us here at this time, but these two ladies are so dynamic. They are so powerful. They are women on the move. They are entrepreneurs. They take care of their families. They balance work and play. And Trina is here with us today. Very thankful for her taking time out of her busy schedule to share some amazing things with us. Most importantly, just how we can begin, ladies, to get on that road to claiming your inner power. Right? There's so many layers to us. We take care of so many others, but what about you? Right? So how can you claim this inner power? If you've ever struggled with just stepping out in your own strength and living in your own purpose and just living life as you are created to live, Trina has some words, has some information for you at this time. So without further ado, I will like to hand it off to Trina, and you can formally introduce yourself to our audience.
Thank you so much, Jesse. Really appreciate your time. And for me, being here is such an honor. You and I, we are kind of on a similar mission of really empowering women and empowering inner strength and being who you are. And so I love being in this space with you. So I have been in the therapy coaching arena for over a decade now. I have worked with women, families, children, anything that really had to do with improving relationships, but particularly your relationship with yourself. I was born and raised in Denmark, came to the United States in my 20s, and have been here ever since. So that journey coming into a new country, learning a new language, and you got some like weird humor over here. You guys talk about sports all the time. I learned not to talk about politics too much. Like there's a lot of, I had to put certain parts of myself aside to be able to like kind of fit in, right? This notion of not fitting in. I think we can all recognize not really fitting in and maybe not really feeling that we can be ourselves, right? So there are probably a lot of you out there that feel like, well, I can't be myself all the time, or I know who I can be myself with, right? So this notion of being myself, what is that really? Right?
Wow.
So being myself, we talk about a lot about inner power. So we're talking a lot about claiming your inner power. And as a young woman, that always kind of attracted me. I want to be, I want to find my inner power, and I want to know how I can be my true self, but I had no idea what it was like. So I did all the opposite. Okay. I did a lot of complaining. I knew a lot of the stuff that I did not want. Right. And how many out there know how to do that? Right. Our brains are wired to find problems, right? Or find a threat. Back in the day, the evolution of, the fight or flight and fighting the bear and all that stuff, that primitive brain is still stuck in us. And that, Jesse, right? Because we deal with that with human behaviors all the time.
All the time.
Yes.
So so Trina, it sounds like your story is similar to so many women's story,
Yes.
right? Just this idea of, unfortunately, especially in one's younger years, fitting in,
Yes.
not making waves, right?
Yes.
Going with the flow, right? You don't
Yes.
step out. You don't want to be different, right? You don't want to say no, for a lack of a better phrase. You just want to blend in. But it sounds like that was not sustainable because it appears that you got to the point what worked in the past was not
Mhm.
working for you in the present and would not work for you in the future.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Jesse, I always had this voice inside of me since I was a little child, and I think we can all relate to this like inner voice inside of us. And I always knew that I was meant to do something different. Like I was not supposed to have that 9 to 5 job, or I was not even supposed to live in Denmark. I mean, I had planned out my whole life in Denmark. And
Wow.
but there was just a part of me that said, I don't see myself going to university like everybody else. Or I don't see myself
Mhm.
be in this place or maybe live in this place forever. And
Sure.
this inner voice I was very curious about. And it took until I really started the journey on personal growth and more self-awareness that I really learned about, I think it was Eckhart Tolle's, the power of now, like
Oh my
being
gosh.
learning about mindfulness, learning about being still, learning about ego, that like blew my mind open. It blew my mind open because all of a sudden I recognized that this voice that we have in our head, this like the judgment and the little yapper, the little dog that like yaps in our ears all the time, it's not like who we are.
Come on
Like
now.
I'm not my emotions. I'm not even my thoughts. Like it's just something that kind of gets produced by limiting beliefs. And it's not like, that's actually not like who I am. What?
Come on now. Come on now.
Right?
I love it, Trina, because
I
that's important. Yeah.
yes, yes. And so that's separate. So I can be me
Mhm.
and my thoughts and my feelings and my ego and kind of my human existence is like separate. So
Yes.
that means that this inner voice, this little nudging, this little, sometimes you call it intuition, like that's always there. But sometimes ego is so loud that I can't hear it.
Come on.
So if that really is happening, okay, now I feel empowered to follow that voice even more.
Wow. So Trina, it's
Yeah.
as if you're saying like a first important step for women to claim that power and step into that you that's inside of you is to listen, right?
Mm,
Tune out the distractions of the world, to not
mm,
listen to our ego, but just listen to that still inner
mm.
voice that is inside of each and
Yeah.
every one of us. That is so powerful. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. To get to power, sometimes getting to something, we think that it's about money or it's about power and it's about these things, but you have to go through certain steps to get there.
Come on
And
now.
right? So for you to find the you inside you,
Mhm.
you have to acknowledge ego first and understanding that there's this voice that's not real, not based on reality. It's feeding
Wow.
you with a lot of
Come on now. I love it.
BS, right?
Yes, indeed.
So, and you can't hear that until unless you have some stillness.
Okay.
So the women that we work with, we create a space of stillness, a space of authenticity, a
Sure.
place that is so safe and accepting that you can be still enough to hear that voice more.
Mm.
As soon as you understand and you hear that voice inside of you and you give it space, you act on it, right? Ooh, there it was. Let me act on that. Let me honor that, right? Then you become more of who you are. You can identify more what you want in a situation. Now you're able to set boundaries better,
Oh,
right? And
that's
Jesse, you're all about that. Yes, yes.
wow. Wow. I
Right.
love it.
And then you can get to the power because what is power? I define human power or your inner power is really to be all of who you are and have the courage and the love and the kindness to be able to express that
Yes.
with respect for your own boundaries and other people's boundaries,
Mhm.
right? With enough stillness that you can be very clear in how you present yourself, in your needs, in your wants. That doesn't mean you talk all the time, doesn't mean you talk the loudest. It doesn't mean you have to have this like powerful persona.
Yeah.
It means that when you're powerful, it means you live according to who you truly are in every moment.
Love it. I love it. So I'm
Does
here.
that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. I
Yeah.
hope I'm receiving it right, because we don't want this to skip over our ears, right? Our hearts nor our heads, right? It's important. So it's not just about listening, but once you listen, right? Are you receiving what you're hearing, right? And before we can ever get to that space of being truly authentic, right? And being in alignment, because a lot of us, it's not as if we're not smart, right? It's not as if we're not talented.
No.
Oftentimes, we may not simply be listening, right? And we're struggling because we're not in alignment with our purpose. You know, we're not listening to that still inner voice that is inside of us. And until we get there, we're going to continue to struggle.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
The only thing that's going to change is when you make that decision and give yourself permission to be more in each moment. And I'm not talking about putting more on your plate,
Sure.
right? We women, we don't want more of our plate. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about.
So guys, so as Trina is prompting us, let's put that in the chat. We don't want more, right?
Yes.
We've been doing more and it hasn't been working for us, right? Sometimes doing less is more. So
Yes.
let's say no to more. So put that, it's telling us say no to more. There is a better way. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. So we want more of us. We don't want more on our plate. And the more you can be honest and true with yourself, you're also able to say no to the things that don't serve you. I may not be in your best interest. So you actually create almost like more time for yourself. It's a bit counterintuitive, right, Jesse?
Yeah, I mean, because I grew up in a household full of women, and like most women, women are naturally inclined to take care of others, and they put the needs of others first for the sake of their own, right? So it's intuitive. Part of it is nurtured, right? You're saying that we might have to just kind of question how we used to do things, right?
Yes.
Because Trina, you said something about doing the same thing. And insanity, guys, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but we're expecting to get different results. We have to do something different.
Absolutely. In my previous relationship, I kept doing the same things over and over again. I was married for 12 years, and my ownership in that was I did not know what I wanted. And I was afraid to actually speak my own truth. I was afraid of giving myself permission to ask for what I wanted. And so everything kind of became counterintuitive. It just became a lot more conflict and unhappiness because I was really not knowing what it is that I wanted and what I needed. And it took until like one day where I really realized, I really understood the you inside you. And I also understood that for me to make changes, it had to be me. Okay. Wow. How many of us like wait for the other person to change? If only they can change, right? If only they can do it better, it would be so much easier for me. If only you do this, then it would be so much better for me. Yes, there is a sense of supporting one another, but at the end of the day, nobody else can change my feelings and how I feel about myself.
Wow.
So if I choose, or if I want more friends, or if I want a mentor, or if I want to feel happy on a daily basis, nobody's going to serve that to me. I mean, everybody have their own life to live, right? They're not going to come. And at the end, it's not sustainable, right? Because if you really depend on other people for your own happiness, that's only going to last so long. So I woke up one day and I'm like, this needs to change. I'm going to try it. So I just like started stepping outside of my comfort zone, and I just started like showing up in a different way. And I started like manifesting the things in my head that I wanted.
Absolutely.
You know, you just sit there and you just daydream. And I was like, okay, these are the kind of friends I want. These are the kind of mentor I'm seeking in my life, like really painting the big picture. And I just kept doing that over and over. This is the love that I deserve. This is how I want to love myself. This is how I want to feel about myself. And I didn't believe any of it in the moment, but I knew about manifestation. Sure. And I knew that thoughts become reality, and the more you speak it. So all of a sudden, a few months, a year later, my life looked very, very different. All of a sudden, I had friends, really close friends in my life that I never had before. Sure. I had found the mentors in my life that I needed, that I am still my mentors to this day, and I'm truly honored to learn from. Wow. My relationship shifted and unfortunately ended in divorce. However, I believe it's for the best for both of us. Absolutely. That he could really get what he needed in life. At that point, we were just not in the same space or in compatible spaces. And I honor that and I respect that. Mm-hmm. And as a result, I could live my true self.
Come on now.
And attract and get into the life that I really wanted to live. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. So it sounds like you're saying, Trina, that each of us are going on an individual journey, and no one else can come with us, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. And I love what you said, because oftentimes in relationships and in marriages with our significant others, the instinct is to say, well, if my spouse would change, right? If my spouse would change, right? If only if they will get it right. If they get on board, then it'll be happy ever after. But you realized, because you had that wake up and smell the coffee moment, right? Yeah. Literally woke up and you said, wait a minute, the change has to start with me.
Absolutely.
And not wait on another human being to enact that change. It has to come from inside. Amazing. Amazing.
Absolutely. And let me tell you this, Jesse. I have worked with so many women who I thought there's no way they're going to get through their relationship in the state that they're in, right?
Wow.
And I have seen them transform themselves and take responsibility for their own journey, for their own action, and step into their own power. And they have incredible relationships today.
Amazing.
Right? Because their partner opted in on the change, right? They were inspired. They were like, yeah, let's do this. Right?
Oh, come on now. I love it. I love it. Wow. So Trina.
So it's a journey, right? It's a journey, and each of our journeys look different.
Definitely.
But it's not about staying in a relationship or not being in a relationship. At the end of the day, there's no right or wrong, right? We're both therapists. We've seen all of the above. So it is more about allowing yourself to just follow what feels true to you, and then you hope that the people will follow on that path.
Come on now. Come on. And that's the only way. That's the only way. So Trina, you're talking about stepping into your authentic self. And that is indeed the only way. And I love that, because you and your partner, Louise, y'all have a track record of helping women to get to this point where they truly are loving themselves. So you have the evidence to support that this works, right?
Oh, absolutely.
This doesn't just work for you. This happens for many other women. This is amazing, right?
Absolutely.
Ladies, I know we're on the line and we're listening to Trina. there's so much information that is out there. Like you can go on and look at a YouTube video. You can pull up an article on Google, but it's a big difference between information and transformation. And Trina is offering transformation.
Mm.
And speaking of transformation, Trina, I've been doing research, and there's so much great things about what you have to offer. But one thing that really stuck for me is just the idea of you inside of you.
Yeah.
I was like, when I heard that, I was like, wow, okay.
I know.
So there's layers to us. So
Yes.
what might be present for others to see may not be the true us. And we might think we are, may not be, but there's something that's deep inside of us.
Yes.
So please tell us more about this idea and the process of discovering the you inside of you.
I love that. Thank you, Jesse, for the you inside you. It's just been such a profound thing for us, because this really describes the journey that Louise and I have been on. We were very lonely in our journey to, personal growth and coming home inside of ourselves. Yes. I believe that we bring that home of our inside, our true self, with us everywhere. As soon as we become comfortable in that, we can transition into anything. So, you inside you was really born into what we have created. We wanted to create this fast track for women based on our journey and based on, the hundreds of women and thousands of women we have worked with.
Yes.
To make it easier for them, so they don't have to trip up and learn all these life lessons that took us forever. We've read books and we have, done all the courses, and I have done an extensive education, and I've learned a lot, but they didn't teach us a lot about this stuff. I mean, we're talking about real life stuff. We're not talking about theories, right? We're not talking about some concepts. I mean, we're talking about very specific things. You and I, we all have a you inside you. And if you can get to that quicker than we could, and taking decades of doing that, I mean, this is what we're like so passionate about. And we're just called to do, is to make sure that people are well taken care of, that we can take them by their hand and kind of hold them through that, and have all their questions answered. A lot of people come in and they can't put the puzzles together. It's like, but oh, Trina, I'm back to square one. Or, I keep doing the same things over and over again. And they don't see their own progress a lot of times. And we add that fun and the celebration. We need to celebrate every single step that we take. And you're never back to square one, because you can't possibly unlearn all the things you already know, right? I mean, that's just not possible. So you're never back to square one. So just knowing that and hearing that from like other women, but even from us, I mean, we're also on the life journey, but everything that we've learned, if we can just give that information like as fast as possible, so people can free themselves and get themselves unstuck, just that sense of freedom of being like, okay, I know what life is about now. Like, I finally found the key to life. That's how I woke up one day. Like, I get it now. Like, I literally get it, Jesse. I am just, it blew my mind. And if I can just hand that gift to every woman out there who is just so ready and be like, Trina, give me the answer. Like, I'll give that to you. And it's very simple. It's very simple. It's just getting in the right format for it to be delivered to you. And it's like, your life just going to change.
Oh my gosh. So Trina, I'm hearing you have the system, right?
Yes.
You have it. You've done the work. You've made you've bumped your head, right? You've done errors. So, your struggles are other women's gain, right? I love what you said. Yes, we want self-love. We want the love of our significant others. We want the love of the people around us, but we want it faster, right? Now, ladies, how many of y'all are on this journey and it's taking long? It's taking not months, but it's years, right? Trina and Louise, they're offering the system on a silver platter to you so you can get what you want, but faster.
Yeah.
So, ladies, put it in the chat. How many of you guys are not trying to wait another 6 months, not trying to wait another year, but you want it faster? Put it in the chat, faster. I love it. I love it. Guys, it's available to us. And Trina and Louise, what they're offering on a silver platter, but faster. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So we have a masterclass coming up, and it's going to be a 4-hour masterclass. It's free.
Okay.
It's called Claim Your Inner Power. This is what we have compiled just for everybody to take advantage of, because we want to give this to everyone. Like everybody that can just to have 4 hours, clear their calendar, and just spend time on you. How many women out there know they need to prioritize themselves?
Come on now.
Yes,
Come on now.
absolutely. Prioritizing. This is the number one thing we hear from women is, I want more stillness and I want to prioritize myself and I don't know how to do it. And it starts with permission. So give yourself permission today to prioritize yourself.
Yes.
And give you this gift of learning stuff that we have taken a whole life to learn.
Oh, wow.
And we're going to give that to you in those 4 hours of our masterclass. So I really hope that is for you. If it is for you, that you'll sign up for it. And we're here. We can't wait.
Now, Trina, not to let it go over the lady's head, you said 4 hours.
Yes.
4 hours of free training.
Yes, you heard that right.
Where do they do that at? So ladies, you got to jump on this, right? Yes. Because there's a big difference again between information and transformation. And you got to get in the room in order to make this thing happen. It's one thing you got to figure it out by yourself, but Trina, she's offering the support, right? She's offering the community of women such as yourself. Get in the room, sign up for the masterclass. The link is available down this video that you see or somewhere near this video. Sign up, because I don't know how long is Louise and Trina going to be doing this for. So you need to get in the room and get in the room now. Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excellent.
I love it. So
this is a celebration, Jesse. I mean, isn't it just such a celebration?
Absolutely. It's a celebration of life. Most importantly, ladies, it's a celebration of you, because you deserve to be celebrated. You celebrate so many others. It's time to celebrate yourself for a change. And I would like to say, let's step out on faith. Right. I love, it's not about the fear. It's not dip in your toe in the water fear. We're going out to jump in the water faith. So jump out in the water faith. Click that link for this amazing 4-hour masterclass where Louise and Trina will be breaking it all down for you, how you can learn to find the you that is inside of you. I am so grateful, Trina. You are amazing. I know our audience feels your energy, feels your conviction and your passion. We are so grateful for your time. And we're going to be learning so much more of what you and Louise have to offer inside of your 4-hour masterclass.
Thank you, Jesse, so much for having me.
Gosh, Trina, you're amazing. I'm grateful. Yes, you take care of yourself, and our audience will see you in the masterclass. Take care. All righty. Bye, guys.